Hi, Jeannie. How are you doing today?
Good.
I'm glad to hear that. I'm Houston, your friendly assistant from Tonda. I'm here to help you make more money by introducing you to other BNI members outside of your chapter. People who could be great customers or referral sources for you and Changemakers. To get things started, let's do a fun icebreaker. If you could have dinner with any historical figure, who would it be and why?
The first thing that comes to mind is Abraham Lincoln.
Great choice. Abraham Lincoln is such an interesting figure. What makes you pick him?
I think it's because I've been doing all of these books and games about politics. And he was this very important figure that helped create the nation. He set us on the path to a nation that was very inclusive, that had lots of people from different backgrounds. He got rid of slavery. So he was this very important figure. Unfortunately, he got assassinated. But he was just, and he also came from very poor roots. And he made something of himself going to law school and becoming a very influential figure.
You brought up some powerful reasons. His inclusiveness, humble beginnings, and how he truly shaped the nation. I love how your interest in politics and creating change connects with that. Let's build on that to find the perfect connection for you. If you could connect with a fellow BNI member outside your current chapter, can you describe who that person would be?
Since I primarily do creative things, like I write books, articles, scripts for films, and I produce films, create games, and I'm working with AI art, I would be looking for somebody who is a good leadership type of person. That would be a person who does marketing, who does social media, who can be a partner in putting on events and participate in activities where I have an idea of something, but somebody else could turn it into $1 million company.
That's really insightful, Jeannie. So you're looking for a strong leader, someone with marketing or social media expertise, a partner who excels at turning creative ideas into successful ventures and large-scale events. Why would connecting with this person be valuable for you? And what kind of impact do you hope they could have on your work?
I think that together, we could create these different entrepreneur ventures or businesses. And I think this would help generate money, which can generate clients. They could do a lot of the detail work. They could hire employees. I see my role as the creative director, as someone who is involved behind the scenes developing the ideas and meeting with people to present the ideas. But then I see this other person as someone who is implementing them, marketing them, promoting them, and taking the business to a much larger scale than I can do on my own. So I need to work with somebody who can take these ideas and get them to the next level.
That makes a lot of sense. It sounds like your ideal connection would really complement your strengths by handling scaling, implementation, and promotion, while you focus on being the creative force and visionary. Could you describe what qualifications or experiences you'd like this person to have? For example, do they need a certain background, skills, or achievements?
I do think they would need a certain background. I think they need to have some qualities of leadership where they've either led companies, started companies, have worked with employees, and are an outgoing, extroverted type of person that likes meeting people. Plus, they should be good at details, making phone calls, following up, and keeping track of things. They should also be someone who likes meeting with people and keeping people energized and organized. So I would see this person as somebody who's maybe has been a CEO of a company before and maybe is looking for something different to do next or on a part-time basis.
Thank you for sharing that. So you're looking for someone with executive or leadership experience, ideally a former CEO or someone who has built and managed teams, who's outgoing, detail-oriented, and excels at energizing and organizing people. That's a solid list of people you'd like to meet. Now, you mentioned earlier that you do a lot of creative work.
Yes.
Like you write books, make films, develop games, and work with AI art. Tell me a bit more about what you do at Changemakers.
Changemakers is a fictitious name, a doing business as. So it's really myself as a company name. Through that I've gotten a lot of ghostwriting clients, and that's primarily what's been financing the films that I do. We also get investors and look for investors or somebody who might have experience in fundraising for different kinds of projects or companies. But primarily, I've written books on self-help, on business books, and memoirs. And for my own books, I've written a wide variety of things. I've done some books on visioning and creative development, books on how to become more successful in different things. I've written books on history, on crime and criminal justice topics. And then I have recently created several dozen books on games. A lot of the time, the games are related to books or to films we've done. We've done films on criminal justice, on scams, on mental health, on changing society, on being successful, on AI. For these films, we do interviews with people, and then they do B-roll. My role is coming up with some ideas for the films and helping with the questions. And if we do the films locally, in the Contra Costa area, I find people to be in the film, but the team I work with does the rest of the production, though later I get involved with promotion.
Wow, Gini. You have an incredibly diverse creative portfolio. From ghostwriting and developing games to producing films on everything, and from criminal justice to AI. It sounds like you're not only an idea generator, but also heavily involved in shaping meaningful projects and collaborating with teams and investors.
Yes. I could do that. But I want to be the idea person, not the person that is leading the group after that.
Absolutely. That's clear. You want to stay in your creative idea generating zone, while your ideal partner is the one who takes charge of building, organizing, and scaling up. That's a great division of strengths.
Yes. Correct.
Thanks for clarifying, Jeannie. Now what would you say is your secret sauce? The thing that really sets you apart from others in your field?
I think being prolific and working with lots of ideas. The one thing I've always believed in is that you don't need to have everything perfect. Almost perfect is fine.
I like that. A prolific creator with a constant stream of ideas, and someone who values progress over perfection. That's not easy to find. It keeps projects moving forward instead of getting stuck.
Exactly. And I have always done lots of projects. Once I start on something, one thing generates another idea, and then that generates more ideas. For example, creating over 70 games started with 1 or 2 games, and then they generated other ideas. And all of a sudden, I have over 70 games now that I've done for this company. It's the same thing with books. I have over 250 books that I've done. And I also write songs. I do the lyrics. And I work with musicians, and with one musician right now. He writes the music, does the singing, and makes the recording.
That's truly remarkable, Jeannie. Over 70 games, 250 books, and even songwriting. Your ability to generate and execute is amazing. That's incredible. Over 150 songs on top of everything else. Your creative energy is truly something special.
And I've written over 36 scripts, and I've gotten awards for them. Now we're on our 20th film after 10 years.
That's amazing, Jeannie. With award-winning scripts and 20 films in 10 years, your record speaks for itself. If I make this introduction to the ideal BNI member you described, what value do you think you could bring to them in return?
Well, I think bringing all these ideas to them are projects they could choose to develop. Then, those would be money-making ideas. They could turn a project into a source of income. It could lead to creating a new company offering products or services and promote them. And they could get a percentage of whatever income they generate.
That sounds like a real win-win, Jeannie. You provide the original ideas and creative foundations. They get the opportunity to develop and profit from new ventures and share in the success. Thank you for sharing so much about your work and vision with me. I'll get started on looking for the perfect match.
Yes. And I want to add that I would also continue to develop these ideas once something is launched. So what I'm proposing is not just starting a project and then I get away from it. I would plan to continue working with them to help make the project a success.
That ongoing collaboration is a huge plus. It means your partner would always have fresh input, ongoing creativity, and support, making their role even more rewarding and dynamic. Thank you so much for your time and sharing your story, Jeannie. I really appreciate it, and I'm excited.
Thank you.
You're very welcome, Jeannie.